On Ngarrindjeri Ruwe. This year's theme is Always Was, Always Will Be. This theme invites us to walk together in a movement of Australian people towards a better future. Once again, I'll just remind you around social distancing. So if you're a family group, it's okay to be close, but please keep your distance and sanitise your hands at the stations provided. Once again, water bottles, hopefully there's enough for everybody, so come and help yourself. Ngarrindjeri Kathy Rigney. Napi Putangi, Plachingun, Ngarrindjeri Mimni. Ayunik, Nanawa Rui, Ngarrindjeri Ruwe. Good morning, my name is Kathy Rigney. I'm a strong and proud Ngarrindjeri woman. This here is my country, always was, always will be Ngarrindjeri country here. I work with ACCare as the Senior Aboriginal Advisor and encourage you to come into our office in Bridge Street and have a yarn about the services we provide to community, such as Aboriginal services, financial counselling, homelessness support and foster care. There is more inside, so come in for a look and a yarn. I'm also the chairperson of the Ngarrindjeri Ruwe Empowered Communities, NREC. Empowerment in our meaning as a member of the National Empowered Communities has two aspects. It means Aboriginal people empowering ourselves by taking all appropriate and necessary powers and responsibilities for our own lives and futures. Commonwealth, state and territory governments sharing and in some cases relinquishing certain powers and responsibilities and supporting Indigenous people with resources and capability building. I'd love to go into more detail, but keeping it short, and it is warm, we'll be holding a community forum and asking the Ngarrindjeri community what are the key issues that need addressing within our community. So keep an eye and ear out for that. I'd like to begin today's proceedings with introducing Greg Carter. He is here today to welcome us to country.
Nagari Kalo, Mimna, Kona, Paula, Nanu Michi, Greg Carter, Nani, Ngarrindjeri Nani, Yanan, Norandu, Namui, Pala, Nanku, Ike, Wandu Pole, Nani, Thangla, Ngarrindjeri Ruwe, Ngarrindjeri. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, children. My name is Greg Carter, and I am Ngarrindjeri. And on behalf of the Ngarrindjeri people, I'd like to welcome you here today, and I'd also like to acknowledge the past elders before us, the present, and the emerging. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Sorry, I'm short now. I'd also like to pay my respects to elders, especially my elders, past and present, and emerging leaders. We are here to celebrate NAIDOC Week and acknowledge that we gather on Ngarrindjeri Ruwe to raise flags in recognition of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and country, and to give recognition to community members through the NAIDOC Awards. The rural city of Murray Bridge is incredibly pleased to present this morning to you. Now I would like to introduce His Worship, Mayor Brenton Lewis, to speak.
Thank you very much. Welcome everybody. Again, we've been blessed with a really good day, and considering that NAIDOC week, I think I've been told normally July, I thought it was a bit earlier than that. But we all know what July was like this year. It was a really cold winter, windy every day, and by shifting to today, probably by default, thanks to COVID, look what we've ended up with, a really wonderful morning and a good turnout once again. I feel a little guilty because this year's the first year I haven't actually done the walk myself, just not feeling 100% on the occasion, so I decided to not lay in, but not walk. And according to a couple of people who walked up the hill, they told me I made the right decision. I have some notes. I don't normally refer to notes, but when I read through the notes that I was supplied with, I thought they were very pertinent. They captured the things that if I'm going to stand here in front of you and take up your time, I should perhaps reflect on some of these notes. I'll do that. But we'll start off by saying, firstly, what I should say is we acknowledge the Ngarrindjeri people as the traditional owners of this land on which we meet and work. we respect and acknowledge their spirit of connection as the custodians of this land, and that their cultural heritage beliefs are still important to the living people today. And as a council, that's our opening statement for all of our formal meetings. It's a mark of respect. I'd like to mention that Council also proudly supports the National Racism It Stops With Me campaign. We've been a supporter of that for a long time. We continue to do that because we're working towards building a stronger community, and so that is one of the things that we can do. We enjoy your successes, and I'd like to believe that we're standing there with you when you have your challenges, and we do that as a complete community. NAIDOC celebrations are a national thing, so yeah, it was in July. Actually, the notes tell me that. But as you know, it's been shifted to this point in time, which has turned out good. NAIDOC is celebrated not only by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, but by Australians from all walks of life, as you can see represented in the community group that's here this morning. This week is a great opportunity to participate in a range of activities and to support local Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people within the community. This support is also a focus of a council strategic plan, and that's threaded right through our plan. Murray Bridge is thriving at the moment. I think most people would say that. It's pretty obvious. Against all odds, really, against the Thomas Food Fire of January 18, and then we just started to get our act together a little bit, and along comes COVID, and don't need to tell you about COVID. But it's challenged us as a community, but I think we've grown stronger. There's a really good feeling, I think, in our community currently. I think, you know, we know for a fact there's a lot of people that are doing very, very tough. And, you know, you would know people doing it very tough as well. But there seems to be a level of commitment and resolve, in my opinion, that we're in it together. And I don't know that all places could say that. There is a lot of opportunity here. There's also a lot of challenges here. There's a lot of services extended and quite readily taken up by people who need those services, but we can never have enough of that. And I think currently in our region, our Lower Murray region, I think mental health is one of the biggest gaps. I was just saying to Kathy before we got started, one of the biggest gaps I think we've got in our community is adequate care for mental health. This is not about Ngarrindjeri, this is about us as a community. And we must all work together to make this community stronger, and everything we can do to advocate in whatever walk of life you're in, assist us to work hard to get better mental health care for our community. The NAIDOC theme, as Kath said, is always was, always will be, which I think is a pretty appropriate theme. It recognises First Nations people have occupied and cared for this continent for at least 65,000 years, and that spiritually they are and you are connected with your country, our country. The crisscrossing of the nation throughout that thousands of years of many groups, mobs and tribes is recorded. It's some of the oldest history, some of the oldest art form, some of the oldest engineering, predates other things like Stonehenge, etc., that we talk about in today's world. But here in Australia, through the Indigenous people, we have 65,000 years of heritage and care care for a sustainable country that would provide those forms of life required for a bustling nation of First people. And I think it's really only in the last decade or so that we're starting to take on board and realise the importance of that. And I think the bushfires of early 2020 quickly recognised that traditional custodians had ways of managing their landscape, that they weren't frightened of being burnt out, and what they wanted for sustainable land was protected by the way they went around, by the way they did stick burning, etc., and cared for their land. And we're just starting to realise that we need to adopt some of that technology today for us to be better placed in the future. So always was, always will be, acknowledges hundreds of nations, as I said, across this nation over thousands of years. and that is something for us all to be proud of. Yeah, I think I touched on the history, I'll leave it at that. It's about seeing and hearing and learning, the respect for each other. This particular week is just one week in a year where we take time out to stop and reflect and make sure that, give ourselves a bit of a check-up, that we really are caring as a combined community. I would suggest to you that, as I did last year, as a community, if we're in agreement on the things that are important, the things we want to do as a community, a shared community with shared future, we can do, I said last year and I meant it, and I'm seeing it happening, we can do almost anything. As the Mayor of the Rural City, I'm extremely proud to represent all of the people of our community. Now, when I started, I didn't read in my acknowledgements any federal or state politicians that may be here. If I got it wrong, I haven't seen Tony Passon. If you're in the crowd, Tony, raise your hand. Is Tony here? No. And I don't think I've seen Adrian Pedrick. Same story as Tony. Is Adrian amongst us? No. He's such a big bloke, you probably recognise him anyway. And in closing, I'd like to thank those other colleagues of mine that are elected members of council for being here today. Thank you very much for making the time. And I'll hand over to Michael Sedgman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brenton. Just need to find my place. Thank you, Kathy. I now call on our community volunteers to please come up front to assist in the raising of the flags. Once the flags are raised, we will hold 1 minute silence to pay our respects and remember those who have passed before us. Please raise the flags. Significantly, ladies and gentlemen, we have raised together the Australian flag, the Ngarrindjeri flag, the Aboriginal flag, the Torres Strait Islander flag, and the South Australian flag. Would you now please join me in 1 minute silence as we remember those who have passed before us. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Sure. I'll smash this thing, hang on. No, it'll come on. All right. So, thank you. And now, time for the NAIDOC Awards. I'd like to invite Mayor Brenton Lewis and CEO Michael Sedgman to join me at the front to congratulate the winners. So if you just want to stand over, you can hand out the awards. This year, like every year, each nomination is assessed against a set of criteria. The criteria includes demonstrating excellence in the nominated category, being a role model for our community, demonstrating leadership, how their impact on the Ngarrindjeri Nation has inspired others, their commitment to the empowerment of local Aboriginal community members and members across the Ngarrindjeri Nation. So now we know how they were chosen, let's find out who the winners are. Male Elder of the Year. This award is sponsored by Murundi. This year's Male Elder of the Year award recipient is a great role model with an amazing work ethic, still working at 70 years of age. This male elder works really hard, taking people to appointments in his position of transport driver for Murundi. He is always willing to help others. He is an important part of the Murundi team and is a valuable colleague. Congratulations, Uncle Kathy Rigney. He's not here, so anybody come and collect on behalf. I think Greg will be collecting a few today. And next. Thank you. You just need to stay there. Thank you. Female Elder of the Year. This is another award sponsored by Murundi. This year's Female Elder of the Year has shown that no matter how old you are, you can achieve anything you put your mind to. Leaving school early when she was young, this remarkable elder has gone back to study, graduating in Cert 3, learning an endangered language, Ngarrindjeri, in 2019, and enrolling in a Cert 4 in training and assessment, which she is on track to graduate from next year in 2021. Facing many challenges in her life, our Female Elder of the Year has continued to shine brightly, singing and songwriting with the Deadly Nanas, working alongside her husband in business and sitting on the Murundi board. Her ability to bring Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people together to facilitate learning and understanding is hugely important. Congratulations, Auntie Pauline Walker. Anybody here that could... Right. Thank you. Photo time. Thank you. Male Youth of the Year. This award is sponsored by Empowering Communities. This young man is always eager to help his peers and staff. He shows pride and interest in language, culture and cultural events, showing great confidence when asked to present yarn to audiences. He could have come up here for me. He hardly ever gets in trouble, is always at school and has a very bright future as a leader if he continues to show such deadly traits. Congratulations, Jaleo Penny. Female Youth of the Year. This award is sponsored by Empowering Communities. This year is a tie between two deadly young women, both in Year 9 at Unity. They completed their passion projects researching diabetes and breast cancer. At the end of their projects, they held a fundraiser, washing cars and cooking a sausage sizzle. They donated the money raised to raised to Murundi for health and wellbeing programs. Both are very passionate about language and culture, performing Welcome to Country in language at schools and events. Both are an inspiration, providing ways for their school to be more culturally appropriate for Aboriginal students, and they are happy to continue to do so. Congratulations, Georgia Tabaro and Nikki Jackson. Come on, these two.
Congratulations, great to see you both again. Well done.
Congratulations. You both want to stay close, we'll photos after too. Thank you. Male Worker of the Year. This award is sponsored by Life Without Barriers. This worker has worked locally in health for many years. He is a holder of great wisdom in the community about family connections, which he is always happy to share. He likes to chat with anyone, always with a smile, and loves community and culture. He works with elders in a respectful and caring way, helping out whenever he can. You can hear him before you see him coming on his Harley. Congratulations, David Crompton. I haven't heard him today. No, David Crompton? Yeah! I'm not trying to blend him. Thank you. Female Worker of the Year. This award is sponsored by Life Without Barriers. This person works diligently in a challenging mainstream context to champion the mental health needs of Aboriginal young people. She leads by example, demonstrating care for family and community, always advocating for culturally safe practices in the workplace. She guides and encourages her colleagues at work and also on the footy field, where she has been captain for the women's team this year. Congratulations, Anina Tarasenko. Thanks, Adina. Sportsperson of the Year. This award is sponsored by Knockin' Together. This person is nominated not for playing sport, but for her dedication to keep the community playing sport. Running the Falcons Basketball Club for many years, she was always finding players, putting in registrations for teams, organising canteen volunteers and coaches, as well as looking for donations to help players and families participate. Having retired from netball 4 years ago, she now supports the club in a major way by helping recruit young girls to field teams and coaching positions from the minis through to A grade. This person is very deserving for her hard work behind the scenes that many people don't see. Congratulations, Shirley Hartman. 5 to 11 years of age. This award is sponsored by AC Care. This student attends Marybridge North School and receives 100% attendance certificates regularly. She is a very caring, supportive and busy 10-year-old girl, participating in little athletics and netball. She also attends Children's University and is graduating for the 2nd year in a row. This young person has recently been learning to weave and hopes to be able to teach her classmates. Showing strong leadership skills at a young age, she plays schools with her siblings and cousins, setting them up with workbooks and teaching them the importance of education. She is definitely one for us to watch. Congratulations, Kiana Wilkinson. Artist of the Year. This award is sponsored by CAMS. Although this artist has won before, it is worth acknowledging that his skills both as an artist and as a teacher of art to young people has continued to grow from strength to strength. Some examples of the variety of skills this artist shares with the community include the recent mural work on 6th Street, where he was both student and artist. He delivers the welcome to country at many major events and leading the 2019 Christmas pageant. Congratulations, Harley Hall. Leslie, was you going to come and grab this one? Where is she? No problem. Oh, there she is. Congratulations to all of our award winners for 2020. Players, they're the winners, aren't they? The winners, please stay up the front for a photo at the end of today's proceedings. Nearly there, you fellas, nearly there, so I know it's getting warm. Thank you all for attending. A special thank you to Greg Carter, where's he gone, for welcoming us to country, Paul Ankerson for the sound, and to the Mayor and CEO, thank you and congratulations to all our award winners. Also, I'd like to thank the efforts of the NAIDOC Week Committee for 2020, who put in an astounding amount of effort to make sure the week came together, and to the rural city of Murray Bridge for hosting this event. Due to COVID restrictions, we're unable to provide our usual morning tea today, but thank you again for joining us in the celebration today, and we look forward to seeing you throughout the week. Okay, you just threw me now. At the Friday. So just attend as many NAIDOC events as you can within the Ngarrindjeri Nation. We have flyers here for anyone who'd like more information. Nakan.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you join me in congratulating Kathy on the excellent job that she's done in facilitating our session this morning.